Hey guys, so someone had suggested to me that I should do like an updated 10 things I can't live without or my top 10 favorite things, and I thought that's a really good idea because I do have some new favorites. However, I kind of wanted to put a spin on it, so it's not really my top 10 because I may use more than 10 products. I'm not sure. But I thought I would do a full face of my drugstore favorites. So what I would reach for going to the drugstore. So this is kind of like a top 10, and I can still do a top 10 video too. That's no big deal. I just thought this would be neat to do, to kind of show you some of my favorite things at the drugstore, so that if you're looking for some stuff at the drugstore, you can know what I would choose if I was there. So one of my favorite things right now is this Maybelline Baby Skin. This is a really great pore filling primer. It's a dupe for the, I just sneezed, so I feel very congested. It's a dupe for the Benefit Professional. So I just get a little bit and rub it on my hands, and I just put it in my T-zone. I'm not putting it all over my face. I just want to feel the pores that are in my T-zone. So I just like to push it in. The worst of my pores are on my nose. That's why I focus on my nose a lot. And then there's also this primer that I really like right now. It really helps my foundation to stay on. This is the Hard Candy Hydrating Primer. And this is a dupe for the Milk Hydro Grip, I've heard. I don't have the Hydro Grip to compare it to, but it actually looks like the Hydro Grip primer. And it's going to be a little bit sticky, tacky. So I'm just putting this on the perimeters of the face. So I thought I'd give two options, one for oily girls and one for more dry girls. However, I still use this even though I'm an oily girl. It says hydrating, and it is a hydrating primer, but I love that it is a tacky primer. So I still use something that would give, help with the pores, which also help the mattification process in this next step. I really enjoy this because it just gives a little bit of a tacky base for the foundation to stick to. So I enjoy it, and these are two good ones. So if you're looking at the drugstore, either one of these would be a great one, especially now that we're wearing these masks all the time. It would help your makeup stay on when you're wearing that mask all day. So it's not going to be completely transfer resistant, but it'll help. And one of the best mattifying foundations I've ever found is this LA Girl Pro Matte Foundation. This is one of the absolute best, and I wear the shade beige. The only thing I have a complaint about in this foundation is that there aren't more shades. The shade range is awful. So that's my complaint. So this kind of is yellow on me. However, I still love the finish of it and how it wears. So if I could just get something that would match me a little bit better, I would love that. But I still love this foundation. It's amazing. I have a Juno & Co sponge that it's not drugstore, but it's still affordable. And I love it because it has these microfibers on it, and you can tell I've used it because it's dirty. So I'm going to use that to put my foundation on today. Just squirt out a little bit on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to dip into it. So yes, I know it looks yellow, but it's the closest match because the other one just is a little too light. So we'll make it work, okay? So my favorite concealer, and I don't know if you consider ColourPop drugstore, but you can get it at Ulta in the drugstore section, so I consider it drugstore. This is foundation lips. That's not a good look. But this is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. This is the shade Light 40N. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I really like a hydrating concealer. Even though I'm a matte foundation girl and I have oily skin, I still like a hydrating concealer, especially for under my eyes. I just feel like it just really helps under the eyes to look healthy, and it just gives a really nice glow. I'm going to be a bit extra, and I bought 2 shades of this. I also bought Fair 20 in, so I'm going to add just a tiny bit of this lighter shade under my eye, just to highlight a little bit, but I like the mixture of the two, so I do apologize. I don't mean to be so extra about stuff. You definitely don't have to have 2 of everything. And this is an oldie but a goodie. One of my absolute favorite, hands down, always will be, setting powders from the drugstore is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Setting Powder. You get a ton of setting powder. Let's compare it to the e.l.f. Halo Glow. And of course, I love this one too. Not saying that I don't, I absolutely do. But you're just getting so much product in this Wet n Wild, and it's just, it's amazing. So we're gonna use it. Tons of product will come out. Just a forewarning. So I'm gonna take my sponge and dip down in there. This sponge is really great for applying powder too. And if you like to bake, it's great for that. I do like a lot of powder, but I'm an oily girl, so this really helps with the oil. So if I'm looking a little powdery after that, I'll usually just take a setting spray and give a little bit of life back to my skin. But it's probably best not to do it right now. It's probably better to just wait till you're finished with your powders. So my absolute favorite bronzer from the drugstore right now would be the Revlon Skin Lights bronzer. This is my absolute favorite bronzer. Drugstore bar none. It's just one of my favorites right now. So I reach for it quite a bit and I love it. It's got such a unique texture and it's just really great. When I first got it, I thought it was too light for me. But it's actually the perfect shade, and especially going into fall and winter, you know, your skin's gonna be a little bit lighter then. It's perfect. Of course, a lot of us didn't get a lot of, well, maybe we did, since we didn't go on vacation this summer, but we did get more sun maybe from being outside. And my favorite drugstore blush highlighters are these e.l.f. bite-size face duos. I love these right now, and I have some of the prettiest shades. Sorry, I had one upside down. These are the shades I like for fall. How pretty are they? I have the shades Spiced Apple, Lychee, and Pomegranate. Spiced Apple, Lychee, Pomegranate. They're so pretty. So beautiful. I just love them. I think I'm gonna go with Lychee tonight. And I just dip my brush in there and get it really good. They're very pigmented. And I just set that right on top of my bronzer. Beautiful colors. They have like 6 or 8 altogether, and they're beautiful, truly. And then I'm going to use the same one for highlighter. So this is the Lychee highlighter. It looks darker in there than it actually is. So it actually shows up on my skin, but it's not too much. So yes, these are the 3 shades I would recommend for fall for people with my skin tone. Just a very nice blush color. So this may not surprise you either, but this is my favorite brow product at the moment. This is the NYX Fill and Fluff. It's the eyebrow pencil, but it's a pomade pencil is how it's described on the Ulta website, and that's what drew me to it. And I love that it's one of those square pencils. but it has like this toothbrush on one end to really get that pomade through your brows, and that's what I love about it. So this is what I've been using pretty much nonstop to do my brows lately. So here's what they look like with just the pomade pencil in there. If you want just a straight up pomade, the one I would recommend is the LA Girl brow pomade. I use the shade Soft Brown, but it's a really, really great pomade. I've used it quite a bit, but it's really silky smooth, and it's just a great pomade. I can't say enough good about it. If you're wanting a slim brow pencil, this CoverGirl ultra fine brow pencil is amazing. I use the shade Honey Brown in it. It helps with those, you know, extra precise lines. And then of course I always like to have a brow gel whenever I use a pencil. I always set it with a gel. And the one that I've been liking here lately is this Essence Make Me Brow, and it's in the shade Chocolatey Brows. And it has fibers. That's one of the things I like about it. So it's a smaller wand too. That's one good thing about it. So that's how I do my brows, and those are my favorites from the drugstore. I was thinking about eyeshadow, and I love eyeshadow, you guys know that. One of my favorites, because I have a lot, are these e.l.f. bite size eye quads. They are amazing. Truly, truly amazing. I just can't say enough good things about them, honestly. Probably these are some of my favorites that I pulled out, especially for fall. There is the pumpkin pie, the truffles, carnival candy, and cream and sugar. But they just have, of course, neutrals in them, and that's why I love them. So I was going to use those, but I've used those before, and as much as I do love these, I do have kind of a new drugstore palette that I wanted to share. Again, you may not consider this drugstore, but it's available at Ulta in the drugstore section. So this is the BH Cosmetics Chillin' in Chicago palette. You can also purchase this online from BH Cosmetics. But this is a beautiful, beautiful palette. I picked this up at the end of summer, but it is such a perfect fall palette. How pretty is that? That's gorgeous. But it has such beautiful colors in here. I just absolutely love it. So for eye primer, I've been reaching for this a lot lately. This is the e.l.f. Eye primer in the shade Sheer, or also the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer is amazing as well. I'm going to use this because it's just been my go-to. And I truly have been reaching for this quite a bit lately because there's just so many good things you can do with this palette. Let me just swatch this shade for you. This is one of my favorite shades in the palette. It's like a duochrome orange. How beautiful is that? Oh. I'm gonna use, I don't even think I've dipped into this shade here. I think I'm gonna use that shade. It's called Chicago Dog, so I'm gonna use that shade to blend through my crease. I'd heard a lot of people talk about this brand, BH Cosmetics, but I'd never actually tried it. This was my first purchase from the brand, and I absolutely love it. I'm going to also use this shade here called Deep Dish. I'm going to use this shade here called Wrigleyville. Okay, then I'm going to take this shade, which is 312. I'm just going to take that on my finger. I'm going to take a little bit of this shade Chicago Dog around the edges. Then I'm going to take this shade here called Wrigleyville. And then the shade Deep Dish right here. And then just taking the shade Chicago Dog, and I'm just going to blend. Then I like the ColourPop liners. They are my favorite. The cream gel liners in Mr. Bing is what I'm using today. I'm just going to line my waterline. I'm also going to take the shade here, Lakeview, and highlight my brow bone and inner corner. My favorite eyeliner from the drugstore right now is this NYX Epic Ink Liner. I love it. It's so good. And I'm absolutely loving this L'Oreal Air Volume Mascara right now. So, first of all, I'm actually going to curl my lashes. And then I'm going to put that mascara on. This is what the bristle looks like on that. Okay, we're almost done. One of my absolute favorite things to do, and which you guys probably already know this, is I like to use a lip liner because it's just long lasting instead of just like lipstick or whatever. And especially, you know, you want something long lasting. Some of us probably aren't even wearing lipstick right now or anything. We just need something moisturizing. But one of my favorite lip liners right now is this Revlon Color Stay. It's in the shade Nude. I actually wore this today to work. It's just like a deeper nude, and it would be perfect for fall. If you want just a matte look, this can do it. Or you can take this Milani Keep It Full lip gloss and put over top of it. This is in the shade Prismatic Peach, by the way. And I love this. I'm almost out of it. That's how much I love it. It's so good. But then you can have a little bit of a gloss, and you can put any color over top of it. It doesn't have to be this one. But these Milani Keep It Full lip glosses are so good. So those are my top picks at the drugstore right now. I love so many things from the drugstore, so it was hard to choose just a few. But those are my top picks. So if you have any, you know, thing that you're needing from the drugstore and you wanted maybe something new or some advice or something, maybe this video can help. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that it was just fun to play in drugstore makeup again, because it's been a while since we have. I feel like I got into higher end eyeshadow palettes there for a little bit, and we didn't do anything else. So it's fun to play in drugstore makeup. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you so very much. I really do. I love this highlight up here too. This, if nothing else in this video, you need this. I'll try to put the prices down below too, because I don't remember them right off the top of my head. But I will try to put them down below so that way you can look and see what they are. I'm pretty sure most, if not all of this, can be purchased at Ulta. So thank you guys again. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye guys.